It was August 24th, 1919, over 100 years ago. The day was a warm day, and it was a clear day, at least for a while. This was the day that Ray Caldwell put on a Cleveland Indians baseball jersey for the very first time. And everyone in the stands for this baseball game knew that this was an important game for Caldwell. He had started a promising career with the New York Yankees, but then soon found himself at the Boston Red Sox, and then he was waived. And he found one final chance with the Cleveland Indians. Some personal struggles and addictions had derailed his once promising career, and this truly was his final chance to make something of his baseball career. He was a good pitcher. The other players called him Slim. That was his nickname because of his 6'2", 190 frame. And yet he was able to harness all of the energy in that frame to throw a pretty good fastball, and he had a decent curveball, but his favorite pitch that was legal back then was the spitball. And on this day, he was playing against the Philadelphia Athletics, and he had pitched for 8 innings. And in 8 innings, he had only given up 4 hits and 1 walk. Just 3 more outs to go. And then the clouds began to roll in off Lake Erie. Players and fans were hoping that they could finish the game before the storm got too bad. Just 3 more outs to go, and they could all go on about their business. The game would be over. And again, they knew how important this game was for Caldwell. So he gets up to the mound, and he actually gets out the first 2 batters in the final inning as the sky above him is rumbling. And then he took the mound to deliver the pitch to the 3rd batter, and that's when it happened. Just as he got set to pitch, a flash from the sky exploded to the middle of the infield. The infielders all felt the energy go through their legs, and they all ducked for cover. And a few moments later, they kind of stood up and looked around, and all of them were okay. Everyone was okay except Caldwell. They looked out to the mound, and there he was, lying there, arms stretched out. He was out cold. So they began to approach the mound, wondering if he was okay. He had taken a direct hit from the lightning strike. One of the players reached out and touched him and quickly jumped back because he felt the electricity go through his body. And so they all just huddled up around the mound, all wondering the same thing. Is Caldwell alive? I'll answer that question in a few minutes. Don't be Googling up on your phones. I see you. I know you guys. We'll get to that later, but this dramatic story, I think, really serves well as an allegory for life sometimes. We know what it's like to face the storms of life, the unexpected storms sometimes. We know what it's like to be hit with a direct hit that sweeps our feet out from under us, that knocks us to the ground. We know what it's like to feel the pain and the suffering of a fallen world. Well, back to Ray Caldwell. He's lying on the mound, just been struck by lightning. His chest is still smoldering from the direct hit. His teammates gather around him. They're wondering, is he alive? Is he dead? And finally, he begins to groan a little bit and move a little bit, kind of works his way up on his knees, and then finally elevates himself and is able to stand on his feet, and everyone is sort of surprised. And his teammates and his managers try to rush him off the field to get some medical help, and you know what he says? I got to finish this game. I got 1 out to go. Somebody give me the ball and point me towards home plate. That's what he said. And everyone's just kind of looking around like, are you serious? This game was important to him. It was a very important game. And so finally the umpire said, play ball. And he gripped that baseball and he hurled it to home plate. And thankfully the batter took a big cut at the first pitch that he threw. And he hit a hard grounder to the third base. And the third baseman couldn't catch it, but he was able to knock it down and pick it up and gather it just in time to throw it to first and get the guy out. 3 outs, game over. He did it. Ray Caldwell survived a lightning strike and finished what he had started, a complete game. In this world, you will get knocked down. You will face storms. Jesus said, in this world, you will have trouble. But we know that the verse doesn't end there. The story doesn't end there. There's more to the verse. There's more to the story. Because he says, take heart. Be of good cheer. Be encouraged. That's what it means. I have overcome this world. And if we are with Jesus, we too can be overcomers of this world. When you get knocked down, you can get back up. But don't misunderstand my message. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying today. This is not a message about willpower. It's not a message about inner strength. It's not a message about some humanistic pull up yourself by your bootstraps and do better. We are not holding up Paul as the one who is to be elevated in this story. In fact, what did he tell people when they tried to do that? They said, you're a God. He said, no. I am a human just like you. There's only one God. And so just like Paul redirected people's praise and their mindset from humans to God, that's what we want to do today. Paul is a great, inspiring example. But he is not at the center of the good news. Jesus is.